There are three test tools used in DLNA certification: the DLNA Conformance Test Tool, or CTT, the DLNA Media Capabilities Verification Test Tool, MCVT, and the DLNA Link Protection Test Tool, known as LPTT. In addition, there are several supporting tools: the Test Results Reader and the Golden DMC and DMS. The DLNA test tools are cited as one of the main reasons why companies join DLNA. The tools have been created and maintained at considerable cost to the organization. The Conformance Test Tool and the Media Capabilities Verification Test Tool, as well as the Golden devices, are available free to members. Multiple copies of these tools can be downloaded and installed for concurrent use. The certification test tool, which I'm starting here on the left-hand side, is the main test tool used by DLNA to certify devices and capabilities. It tests the required guidelines for all certifiable devices, capabilities and features apart from link protection. The Media Capabilities Verification Test Tool, which again I'm starting here on the left-hand side, is used to test DLNA media operations and methods in the unprotected domain. For example, pause using stalling, or seek using timeseekrange.dlna.org. Although CTT contains similar tests, it tests only one media profile, whereas MCVT tests every profile supported by the device. The Link Protection Test Tool, which I'm again starting here on the left-hand side, offers a unique way for companies to test compliance to the DLNA Link Protection Guidelines, which use GTCP/IP, and to test trip modes in the protected domain. The tool is offered at a fee to members who also have a current DTLA license and have adopter status. I'm now going to discuss some of the main features of the tools, which are listed on this PowerPoint slide. The first feature we're going to discuss is testing modes. The tools support two testing modes: manual mode and certification mode. Manual mode is used for ad hoc testing. The profile is created using a profile creation wizard accessible from the main application UI. I'm going to give a demonstration of this using CTT. So the first step is to press New Device Profile here, to give the profile a name, select the device you're going to test, in this case digital media player, and then to configure the first screen, we'll choose video support North America using the home network, and then there's a set of configuration of options here. So let's say it connects Ethernet, USB 1.1, media transports, play modes, only supported AV. So some of these are automatically selected because they're mandatory. This is the media profile support. Again, manual section can add some new profiles, and then you can finish. The second testing mode is called certification mode. This mode is used when a DLNA device is submitted for independent testing to verify conformance. A device submitted for certification must first be registered by creating a registration record which describes the device. After the registration has been completed, a certification profile can be automatically created, and this profile is then used by all tools for automatic configuration. So I'll give a demonstration of this using the CTT tool again. And this time we load the device from the disk, and here's a WCS profile. Open it, give it a name. And there are several devices that this product supports: DMP, a DMR, and several capabilities. So we'll just choose the DMP again. And this time the tool is automatically configured. You can have a look at what it supports by editing the profile. Same screens as we used in the manual creation, but these elements have been automatically filled in and cannot be changed. The second feature that I'm going to discuss is automation. Now, many test cases, particularly for client devices like a DMP, require a manual input. And here's an example with this test case here. As you can see, the prompt here is asking for the test operator to take an action on the DMP to select and render a media item. Now, all the DMP test cases are manual, so this makes the testing process rather laborious, error-prone and tedious. It also makes it impossible to easily test your code changes to your device against the DLNA Test Tools in an automated environment. To overcome the problems with manual testing, DLNA has introduced an automation architecture, which can be seen on this PowerPoint slide. In this architecture, the test tools send prompt information to a device under test, which has a DUT controller, piece of software which reads the socket and passes the prompts, sends them to the device under test, which then takes an appropriate action. In order to implement DLNA automation, the device vendors must implement the DUT controller themselves. In order to facilitate this, DLNA provides a set of reference materials available here on the DLNA Tools page of the DLNA website. The reference materials contains complete documentation of the automation architecture and how-tos describing how to implement automation on a device, as well as reference implementations of the DUT controller in both C and C#. And finally, DLNA also provides the source and binaries of pseudo devices which implement automation. This demonstration shows how to use DLNA automation with the CTT tool. The first step is to download the binaries from the DLNA website. So you go to the members area, choose the certification test tools option, and then download the binaries here. I've already downloaded them, so I'm going to do it here. And then download the documentation here. So these two zip files appear here. Extract the binaries first. And then the device we're going to demonstrate is the CTT sudo DMP. So install it. So it's installed under the Windows Start button under Digital Living Network Lines Automation. CTT-DMP sudo device. You must change the properties to run this program as administrator if it's not set already. The next step is to configure CTT to run in automation mode. So if it, extract the documentation, which contains a handy batch file which can be edited to add the IP address of the testing interface. In this case I'm going to use the IP on the Wi-Fi interface here, which is 1.125. So we need to edit this file. Any way you wish. So we put in 1.125. And we copy the batch file into the program files area for the CTT. Then we need to run CTT, so we start a command in administrator mode. Change directory to that location. Start the automation. Sudo device. And then run the automation batch file. CTT starts up. It is automatically configured and starts running the test cases. On the left here you see the prompts, manual prompts being processed by the sudo device. Testing will go on automatically like this until it's finished. All the test cases are selected except two, which are for multi-interface testing. Not all test cases pass at the moment. There's a couple of failures. The third feature that I'm going to discuss is specialized trick mode testing. Now, all the tools provide testing of time-based seek and server-side play speed through specialized media server simulators. For time-based seek, a set of index files provides a mapping to the correctly aligned byte position in the media file, and this is returned in response to a time-seek request. For server-side play speed, there are a set of pre-prepared scales files of various speeds which provide a realistic emulation of play speed. I'm going to give a demonstration of MCVT working with one of the DLNA reference devices. Start MCVT. Start the reference device. It's a DMR, so I need to find it. Switch off the firewall. You can find it. And I'm going to run the time seek tests for MPIC-PS NTSC. So seek using time, that'll move forward to a position about 30 minutes or 25 minutes into the file, a fast forward using time, and a fast backward using time. So let's set it off. The next feature I'm going to demonstrate is live streaming testing. In this case, the MCVT server simulator emulates a live stream which has a partial buffer, and live streaming clients will play from this buffer as it moves forward in time. So I'll start MCVT again. And again, it's DMR. And configure MCVT to run the play test in broadcast content mode. Do a reset anyway. And there we go. The last feature that I'm going to demonstrate is the test results reader tool. This tool reads and displays logs from all of the DLNA certification tools. So here I've got a MCVT log which I shall open and display using the test results reader. So it gives a summary of all the testing here at the bottom. All the profiles and all different methods tested, and then in each of these nodes there's the actual test information. Finally, I want to give a demonstration of some of the support tools, in particular the Golden DMC and the Golden DMS. And these are golden devices which are fully featured, configurable DLNA certified devices that DLNA provides free to members as reference implementations of the DLNA guidelines. Members can use devices to do interoperability and feature testing, and they're particularly useful because they're highly configurable and can isolate particular conditions and features. So I'll just start the Golden DMC. Here. Start stack. I just found the reference DMR that's running over here. And the configuration is from the preferences menu, and you can switch on various features. So it has a diagnostics endpoint and a diagnostic controller on it, and they can be disabled if you don't want to test them. And then the Golden DMS which is also highly configurable, has a remote UI server in it, and you can configure the media settings either per file or globally. Switch off various trip modes if you want to test individual ones. As you can see, the Golden DMS has appeared in the Golden DMC, and I'll give a demonstration of the video playback and a time seek.